The Bible is the mark of the beast. Today we have warning number 3. Now pay attention to these warnings, because I've taught of this truth for 45 years, and the Lord now is, you can't receive it. So now He's going to start warning you what will happen to you. And He wants me to tell you what He told me so that you'll be warned, because it's a warning that something bad's going to start happening. God's going to start making things happen. Watch the drought in California. That's something man can't fix. Watch for things that man can't fix. And then Bible worshipers will be wondering why He's destroying them, because He didn't send you no Bible. He sent you the Holy Ghost to lead you. So I told you the Bible's an idol. I told you His voice is going to be heard again on warning number 2. And now His voice is being heard again. And you're not going to obey it. You're not going to give up your churches. You can't give up all your gambling halls and all your bar rooms. You can't give this all up. You've built an ungodly world. You've built the harlot, the old Catholic Church and the Protestant Church. And you've built the Mystery Babylon. Everything's for the flesh. Everything on earth is for the flesh. So God's warning you now. There'll be things start happening that you won't have no control over. And it will be a warning to you. Now today, I want to tell you what one of the most important ones He told me. First He told me in 1970 that the Bible was an idol. Then in 2008 I was in Colorado, in Cortez. And now, when Jesus came to me like with the Bible as an idol, He came over me and like put me in a glass house. And when He told me His voice would be heard again in the land, it was like I fell out like in a trance, like a dead person. And I'll tell you the difference when an angel speaks to you or when the Holy Ghost speaks to you. Well, on this one, I was in a bed and breakfast place out there close to Mesa Verde out in that area. But anyway, the Spirit came to me. It's like the Holy Ghost started teaching me. I went out I was in a kind of a different world, and the Holy Ghost started teaching me the Bible is the mark of the beast. This is what I want you to witness. And then all of a sudden, my mind opened up. I understood that King James was born in 1566. He's the 6th out of the house of Stuart. And he printed 66 books that you have in your hand and in your head. All of a sudden I knew about Constantine, the sun god worshiper. Killed his wife in the bathtub and everything. And he's the first one that printed up the Bible. He printed 50 Bibles on fine vellum, calf skin. And I learned all that, and it was amazing. I learned about Azusa Street. There's one person got the Holy Ghost on Azusa Street, and Bible worshippers come in there, old Parham and them out of Texas. Come in there, there's Methodists, come in there and destroy it. Azusa, out of Azusa Street, you got people like Paul and Jan Crouch and Jimmy Swaggart, Ted Haggard and all them. That's what you got out of Azusa Street, a whole bunch of Pentecostal churches. That's just, it's Bible, dead, fleshly people. So he taught me all this. The Bible's the mark of the beast. Now you can read about it in the 10th chapter of the book of Revelation. No preacher ever preaches that. They'll never preach it. Jesus came down with a book in His hand. And He had this book in His hand, and He swore that time would be no longer, because this took away the voice of Jesus Christ. This year has turned more people from God than anything else. This is the mark of the beast. All the churches is built on this. 41,000 different denominations. 2,300,000,000 Christians. You know that ain't right. You know it. And it's a warning to you. You eat this and you're going to be sour. Your belly's going to be bitter. And when you stand before God, you're not going to be accepted by Him. Because if He can't control you here by the Holy Ghost, He can't control you in the new world. I've watched little animals. I was watching a duck. She had about 10 or 12 little bitty ducks. And they'd follow her everywhere she went. She'd swim out here and there, and they'd just take off after her. If a little duck can follow its mother, well, the Holy Ghost will give us enough sense to follow Jesus by the Holy Ghost. We need to follow Jesus by the Holy Ghost. Now this is warning number 3. I'm going to have some more warning. And I'm going to show you things that's so plain and truthful that you can't hardly fail to understand it. But Bible worshippers won't get it. They won't get it. They won't get this because they love the Bible. You see, they can take the Bible and do whatever they want to do in the flesh. That's why you don't want the Holy Ghost. You'd be like me. You'd be stuck out here for 6 years by yourself. You wouldn't be able to be with your family and friends. You'd be like John on the Isle of Patmos. You'd be following Jesus instead of following this. See, this Bible, you can be a Baptist or a Pentecostal or a Catholic. You can be a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness, a Seventh-day Adventist, a snake handler, Church of Christ. You can be any kind of Assemblies of God. You can follow Paul and Jan Crouch and all that bunch of thugs. You can be anything you want. Just like Joel Osteen says, this is my Bible. I am what it says I am. I can do what it says I can do. I can be what it says I can be. You can be drinking wine. Use a little wine for your stomach sake. You can be winos or gamblers, whatever you want to be from this. But with the Holy Ghost, you have to be godly. So this is your warning. This is warning number 3. And you better take it very seriously, because God's going to start dropping a hammer on you pretty soon. So listen to this dumb hillbilly that's talked to Jesus. And I know Jesus. I've met him many times. He's come to me many times. This time he came to me in the Holy Ghost and ministered to me. The Bible is the mark of the beast.